welcome to another episode of the Get Out of Gaming Plus podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ben.
I'm Alex.
And we have a weekly podcast that talks about all the nerdy things that we like, whether it be video games, anime, movies, TV, you name it. We talk about it. You can always reach out to us on our social media if you want us to talk about something that you guys want us to kind of like have our own thought on. We're both on Facebook and Twitter. Get Out of Gaming on both of those. There. This one's going to be a very good episode. We are talking about Gamescom Night 1, which is crazy because I feel like there's been more things said today than there was in non-E3 this year.
Yeah.
Craziness. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to see what happens after that. But before we get there, let's talk about what we've been playing in Hidden Trophies. Alex, what have you been playing? Or Hidden Trophy?
That's a good question. So, I don't remember if I streamed last week. I don't think I did. And if I did, I don't remember what it was. It was probably Die Hack Versus. Maybe I did do that. I don't remember if I talked about that. I played Die Hack Versus finally, like that game that I showed off on the podcast last week. And I played a bit of it. It's actually really fun. I use my Google Lens, so like Google Translate app with the camera to just kind of like point at the text, and it converted it to English. This is all Japanese pretty much. And it plays very much the stuff is very similar to Dot Hack. So like you are a player and you are playing the world versus, which is a like an actual like fighting game that's built into like this world based on the MMORPG The World from that series. And you play as famous characters from the world. So you play as Kite, so like the main character from the original Dot Hack series. You play as Haseo, who is the main character from GU. You can play as a couple of the other characters from the other Kite clones, essentially. So like the other movie, it came with a movie on it, and that was that CG movie that I watched a while back.
I remember that.
And so like there's a girl who like gets a Kite skin, so she kind of looks like Kite, and then there's another one who is another Kite skin, but she's just a twin blade, but she looks very similar to Kite, so she's more feminine like in figure compared to just like I'm Kite. You can play as Black Rose. You can play as Tsukasa, the Wave Master. You can, there's just a bunch of different people you can play as. And honestly, the gameplay is pretty simple. It's best 2 out of 3. And you just do some fights, do some combos, or do some special moves. And it's fun. It's a little broken, but like it's pretty fun. I kind of wish we actually got this here in some capacity. But it seems like it's not very fully fleshed out because it is a bonus game on a disc. Because it is a movie plus game thing on the Blu-ray. So that's the only drawback, is that it doesn't seem very fleshed out, but all the other stuff that's built in it that isn't necessarily the fighting game is pretty good because it acts like it's an actual game. There are leaderboards, there are fake leaderboards, there are real leaderboards, and there's also this fake like forum thing that's on there, and it's basically kind of like a Twitter. And after you do battles, every once in a while, it'll say like, "Oh, the game's undergoing maintenance right now," so then it requires you to go to the Twitter and see like what's actually happening in there, and they're like talking about you, or they're like looking at your fights, and they're saying like, "Oh, you're doing really good, this person's awesome," or "This person's bad," or they're just asking random questions as the internet would. So I think that's pretty cool to see. It reminds me a lot of in the other Dot Hack games, where you go to the BBs, the forums, the bulletin boards on there, and you can just see just a bunch of different things there from different characters just asking questions, or just spouting nonsense. So I like that aspect of it, that it keeps the game alive in that aspect. But I can see why they didn't want to bring this over here as well, just because it doesn't seem very finished. Especially because they couldn't bring it here because it references some stuff that wasn't out at the time, or here at least. So uh, one of the characters you can also play as, I forget his name, but he's the main character from Dot Hack Link, and that's that other game that I got recently, the PSP game, and that never came out in America. So just having that character there would be very confusing. um, because I have the first 2 volumes of manga for that, and I think only 3 volumes released here in the States. Um, but yeah, I have no idea what Link is. I know it's just like a weird hodgepodge of fan fan fiction, fan service of the whole dot hack thing, but it is canon, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Um, but yeah, playing that. Still playing some more Minecraft. Every once in a while, and doing a lot better. I lost my way for a while, but then I didn't know they added this stuff because I haven't played Minecraft in years. Like I found just a pirate ship that like crashed from the sky, like a sky pirate ship. And there were a bunch of treasure maps, or there's a treasure map, and then there were just a bunch of treasure in there. So like gold armor, like enchanted armor, pickaxes, and paper, and just a bunch of things in there. And the treasure map took me to some redstone. So I had to. It took a long time to find it, but it was buried deep underneath the ocean, actually. But I was able to find it and complete that treasure map. So I thought that was really cool. Um, so yeah, Minecraft is still a really fun game. Um, it's a really relaxing game because again, it's one of those like podcast games where you're just like, I want to mindlessly just do nothing and like maybe accomplish some things. And like now I have a compass because I lost my way for a long time. But once I found that redstone, I found some more iron, and I was able to make a compass with that. And the compass shows you where your last respawn point was. So that's where my bed was. So after a while of just like hiding underground, waiting for it to be daytime and going back and forth, taking my boat, I was able to find my old settlement and sleep and put all my rare stuff that I found on my journey in the treasure chests. But yeah, I don't know. Minecraft is awesome. Like,
oh no, it is.
it's crazy how like addictive and stuff it can be. Um, and I'm happy that Minecraft is finally well recognized. I mean, it has been for quite a while, I would say, but like Minecraft. Let me. How do I phrase this? Minecraft used to be the fun thing to hate. Or so it was very much like, ew, only nerds play that. Only like kids play Minecraft and blah blah. And honestly, the kind of same thing happened with Five Nights at Freddy's for a time. Just because there was a lot of kids merchandise for that, and that's not a bad thing. Like it's cool that kids and everyone can enjoy these kind of things. But the new thing they hate is Fortnite. So because Fortnite is so huge and on its own over there, Minecraft can finally like kind of simmer down now that there's less merchandise. I feel for Minecraft, it can kind of be a game again and be a relaxing game for people to enjoy. And so, yeah, I recommend Minecraft for almost anyone, especially if you're just wanting to play by yourself and just hang out and just do random things. But if you are able to play with people, like that's the way to do it. Honestly, is
Oh
to
yeah,
just
definitely.
open a new seed, open a new world, and just go and explore and not die.
Yeah, I play because I play on the PC.
mhm,
I'm able to play with either one of my sons on their consoles, and uh, my 14-year-old helped me out with some stuff. He's very well versed
mhm,
in Minecraft, and we were doing all kinds of stuff, and he was helping me out. And I was trying to mine some certain things, and it was getting dark. And he's like, "Dad, we got to go back. We got to go back." And I was like, "No, no, just a couple more minutes. I'm mining stuff." And I'm like way far from my house. And now I'm like dodging like creepers
yeah,
and zombies and spiders. And it's difficult because I have no weapon really.
yeah,
I have a pickaxe. And so finally I get to my house and I lock myself in and I go to bed. I wake up and everything's good. But
yep.
it's a fun game. Even at night, it's not overly stressed. You know?
No, it definitely isn't. But when you have a bunch of stuff and you just don't know where you're at, then you're just like, I'm gonna stay indoors for a bit until it gets
Yeah,
brighter out. And thankfully, I found a lot of that armor when I did because I just withstood like a whole creeper just blow up like explosion. Like I had
yeah,
like nothing happen to me. I was like, this is great.
yeah. And it is. And I remember I was one of the few people that gave money to their Kickstarter.
Hmm.
I got a free copy of the game, and that legitimately has been the copy we've been playing,
Yeah,
even when they got sold.
yeah.
Uh, that is my same copy that I've been playing. And when I bought it, it was beta.
Hmm.
So good for Minecraft, to be honest.
Yeah,
Well,
indeed, yeah. Good for Minecraft in general. I hear the creator Notch is kind of a weirdo jerk now anyway, but Microsoft has it now, so Notch doesn't have it. So Microsoft is doing a pretty good job with Minecraft, honestly. Um that's all I really been playing. I would say. Um and I guess I bought a movie over the weekend. And I watched it with some people Sunday night, but on Discord. But I bought Pompo, the Cinephile. Um, G Kids released it. I saw this in Anime NYC, so in New York back in November, for just within the convention because it was one of the movies that you could see. Because I saw this and I saw Belle, and I hated Belle so much. One of our listeners is gonna be mad at me for saying it, but I hated it. But I think it's because, um, one, the the crowd was awful. Like they were laughing at weird times, and then two, we were in such a bad seat that like I couldn't really see well, and so I couldn't really experience the thing fully. Belle is now on HBO Max, so like maybe I'll give it a chance again sometime and try to watch it. But it's not. It wasn't for me. But Pompo, we had really good seats for, and it's just a movie about like making movies essentially. It's just about like a kid who just is always um he's always just like taking notes and stuff, and he's kind of like an intern, and then all of a sudden the little girl Pompo who like is a scriptwriter. She's like pretty famous for making like B movies and stuff, and she wants to make like her actual like big break movie. And she's like, "All right, kid, you're the director." And he's like really concerned and confused, but um, it's his first big break as well. And then they also like get like a girl who's like a no name actress and on it, and they get like this famous old actor on it, and it's like a really cool, interesting movie because it cuts between the actual like movie scenes that they shoot and then also just like the actors preparing for the movie.
I,
But it's a very good movie. I recommend it. I watched it subbed when I was out in Anime NYC, and then we watched it dubbed over the weekend. Um, and they're both fine, honestly. But
that's really cool. Yeah, I think the only thing I watched recently was Tekken Bloodlines,
mm,
anime wise, and it was okay. It was not like great. It was like I finished it because I had to finish it. So
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where I'm like, well, I'm like 2 episodes in. I have to finish it now to see what happens.
Yeah.
So, um, well, I have a couple things here. One I'm super excited about. One of them is the Mafia Conspiracy on NES.
Ooh.
So basically, this was Gogolak 13,
Mm-hmm.
which came out over here, but they did here as well. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a sequel to that game,
To
but it looks almost the
Golgo
same.
13. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, and I have that one as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
'Cause that's
I
like
was
a
gonna,
famous anime manga series. I've just never
yeah,
read it, or seen it.
well, and I was gonna get this before at a place that Alex and I shop at, but the front sticker was like ruined,
Mm.
and it was like all torn up, and I'm like, I want it, but I don't feel like it will be a problem getting it, and I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen it since. Uh, so unfortunately, Whatnot had a good price on it. No one was bidding on it, and I was like, you know what? I'll bid on it. I had a $10 credit.
People are sleeping on Whatnot lately, I've noticed. Because I think a lot of people have left again. I
Yep.
almost got something for really cheap, and then there were some things I didn't want today that I was looking at, and a couple people got his stuff for just $1, and like from bigger streamers too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I will tell you that the numbers have been down. Now I am a registered seller. For me, maybe if I want to go back and sell, yeah. But in the same token, my life is chaotic right now, and kids are in sports, so it's too much for me to go on there and sell, wrap everything up. I mean, it literally is. It's like a second job.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if I want to do that. But I know what you're talking about because I'm on there all the time, and there's like really good things, and there's like 8 people in a room,
Yep.
and it's like, man, they're selling like really good stuff.
Yeah.
I N64 with 2 controllers and like 2 games sell for $75.
Yeah. It's crazy.
The other thing I got is I got Saints Row. I got the Notorious edition, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Which I had to call Alex because I got it a day early, which was funny. So you open it up, it's got the steel book, it's got postcards, it's got a whole bunch of stuff in here. I have played it. I played about an hour and a half. I'm not seeing any major bugs. I
Mm-hmm.
have issues with the voice acting. It's kind of cheesy. Uh, and I know everyone's like, well, Saints Row, I feel like it's completely different.
Yeah.
It feels like a Disney Channel show acting. But these are all things that can get fixed. The game itself is still great. I've had no glitches.
Cool.
So the other thing I purchased was this bad boy, a DS Lite, which,
Oh,
so get this, it actually comes with the original stylus.
nice.
I don't have a charger, but that's okay. Good working order. Uh, I got this bad boy for with 9 games, some in case, some are not. For you'll love this price, Alex. $28.
I mean, that's worth more than the DS right there.
Yeah. Uh, it was funny because this thing's really clean. There's no charger for it, but I can get one. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, and my sons were freaking out because they're like, "Well, it just plays DS." I'm like, "No, it plays Game Boy Advance games
Mm-hmm.
and Game Boy games."
Not Game
So
Boy. It actually doesn't play Game Boy. Only Game
is
Boy
it Game
Advance.
Boy? Okay. Um, so I put in a Game Boy Advance game, and they're like, "No way!" I said, "Yep." I said, "These consoles are not hard to get. I don't. I want to say they're not hard to get, but this rose color, I don't see too many of those out there."
Mm-hmm.
So super excited about that. And the other thing I got, which Alex, I don't know if you, because you are a little bit younger, do you remember these?
Oh, is that for like your NES games? Yeah,
Yes.
I have some for N64 where you put the manual in front and then it has like a little cutout for N64 games.
Yep. So when I was a kid, I had a friend that had all of his games were in here. This is a plastic NES thing. I had no idea how hard these things are to get.
Well, because
Nowadays.
everyone just has the slip covers instead. I
Yeah.
never knew those existed for NES. I always saw like the black little slip covers for the NES games.
You're gonna cry. So I bought on Whatnot RoboCop for dirt cheap, clean copy. It came with a manual, and it came with this. So this is what they did, Alex. You're gonna cry. Here's the box. They cut the box out into pieces
To put on
for
that thing.
Yep.
Wow.
So this is the original box. Yeah. I don't even know what to do with it, to be honest. I'll probably just throw it away because it's not worth. But yeah, that's how they did it. But
Yeah.
the manual is clean. The game is super clean. But yeah. And I've been playing a little bit of Minecraft as well, but nowhere near Alex's level. I played it a couple times. Now that I've got Saints Row, that will probably be my game to play until Ninja Turtles this week or next week.
Now I forget. Speaking of PC and stuff, we never really talked about this on the news, but I forget. Have you played Death Stranding ever?
No.
Because it's going to be on PC Game Pass next week.
I heard about that. That's a
but
big deal.
It's regular Death Stranding though. It's not like the director's cut or whatever. But still, like, it's not on console piece. It's not on console Game Pass. It's only on PC Game Pass. So like, if you're interested in playing it, like, I highly recommend anyone who has PC Game Pass at least to give it a go. Because it's one of those games that's you either love it or you hate it. So why not try it while you can?
I think it'll look good on PC as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pretty game. It's basically a walking simulator.
Mm-hmm. I love that game.
But you know, there's some majorly big talent, great acting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've not played it. I've just seen the videos of it.
Yeah.
I think it's just weird enough. Now, I actually had the collector's edition here, but my wife made me sell it because there's a baby in there and it's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that really is a good game. So if you have Xbox Game Pass for PC Ultimate, definitely download that one. That one is going to be that's a fun game. You know what? I might actually download it myself. I saw Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to the show here. So, Gamescom opening night. Holy crap! My phone, literally, I don't know if yours was, Alex. My phone was going off like crazy earlier today with like YouTube stuff of all these games that they showed before. And there's a bunch that I had no idea were even in the works.
Yeah.
Just crazy stuff. Some stuff was pretty understandable. You know, there's like some Destiny stuff in here, which isn't surprising.
But like, even then, like, the Destiny thing looked kind of cool. It didn't look like Destiny.
Yeah. I would like to see actual gameplay, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Destiny's been running for so long, but it's just a franchise that people love. Mm-hmm. And now with this new DLC that's coming out, I mean, it just extends the life of that game. But so what Alex and I would like to, we were talking about doing is going through here. There's a couple weird things in here where it's like, hey, we're announcing that we're working on this or something. But let's kind of go through here. And this is from IGN. Ryan Didsdale is the author. These are not in order of everything that came out. Jeff Keighley had a show today.
2-hour show. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I did skim through most of it. So there might be some things on here that are even surprises to me. But overall,
I didn't even know what was happening today, to be honest.
I found out randomly through YouTube because YouTube people who I follow had scheduled scheduled streams happening, and they're like, hey, at this time, Gamescom, Jeff Keighley. I was like, wait, what? This is happening today? And so, like, I saw bits and pieces when I was working or whatever, but then I actually watched it or most of it. I watched most of it after work today. So
Yeah. There, when I get to them, you will see my excitement when I get to the things that I'm excited for. But so Everywhere was announced from ex Rockstar developer. Uh, I did not watch this trailer,
this was a
but
weird one.
okay, did you see it?
Yeah. So this trailer is a let's see, I muted stuff so nothing should happen to people. Oh, of course we get an ad. Ooh, yay.
Is it?
Um
I have the same ad. I'm watching it right now. I
oh,
have the
fun.
same.
Yeah, Honda stuff. But anyway, this is the weird one where it looks very metaverse looking, or like something that is just experimental and like I don't know, it looks like a 3D online game where you can just like walk around, explore, race, and just do whatever you want in this metaverse. And it looks
Yeah,
very much like that. Like the trailer's playing right now on my end for audio listeners. It's on the video, but like you can see here that's doing stuff. But then at a certain point, it's going to like change, and it's just like these pieces of things, like completely different art style, more realistic, sci-fi looking. Like it might be some sort of take on like a type of like Matrix type thing.
yeah,
Because it looks very much like, oh, we're hanging out, we're doing all these cool things in this world, or Ready Player One, like something like that, where it's like, oh, you're escaping reality and just using virtual reality as your fun time thing, but then in actual reality, stuff is happening and wrong, and so I don't know. We don't know what the game's about. They didn't really explain anything.
right.
They just said like, here's a trailer, have fun. We'll explain more later.
Yeah, it definitely looks different. And as we go through some of these, Alex and I both talked that with everything that's happened, even like last year's E3 that actually happened, not this year, Gamescom is already produced in one day more than that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, Dune Awakening gets a trailer. This is a Dune MMO set in the Dune universe.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer's kind of cool. I like the graphics
Yeah.
there. Also, the fact that it is a Doom MMO, I think that sounds pretty cool. I don't play MMOs usually,
Yeah.
but this trailer looks really cool. Um, Set in the Dune world. I mean, it showed like a sandworm come up and take a spice machine, and then him jumping on the sandworm.
Yeah.
Uh, Graphics look amazing in this. Uh, it was definitely like wow, and it made me feel like the Star Wars MMOs, that MMO, the Old Republic.
Oh
It
yeah.
well
That or
done.
Galaxies or whatever. Yeah.
Like the trailer was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
They At the very end they actually have a beta, so you could sign up for the beta.
Yep.
Which there's a couple of these games that said, "Hey, sign up for our beta," which
Mm-hmm.
was like really really cool in that aspect. Um, okay, so this one, um, yeah, so that Sony revealed their Dual Sense Edge for PlayStation 5. At first, when I was watching it, I'm like, what's really different? But then I noticed the extra pedals and things of that nature
You can
there.
remove the sticks or adjust them, it seems. So
Yes,
like it's very much like their Elite controller, like to combat Microsoft's Elite controller.
which I'm guessing will be $200, maybe 150.
I don't know, because I feel like this is doing less than Microsoft's controller still.
Yeah,
So like I really don't know. Like controllers are like $60 still, 60, 70. So maybe 110, 120, maybe. I don't think there's a release date or any
no,
sort of thing about it yet. It's just kind of randomly there, and Jeff Keighley was like, "Hey, Sony told us that we could show this. Here you go."
yeah. Uh, I think it looks cool. I
Yeah,
mean, it's definitely built more for shooters.
yeah,
You know, which if you are a hardcore shooter, if you play a lot of the multiplayer like Fortnite or Call of Duty, you know, you definitely need a controller that you can adjust.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really, really do. For the longest time, I almost bought that Xbox's like their Pro controller.
Yeah.
I was playing so much Halo, but I haven't played Halo in a while. So yeah. Uh Callisto Protocol gets new gameplay. Okay, I will tell you, this game is creepy. It has Dead Space written all over it.
I'm ready for it. I'm gonna play this game.
So my son, God love him, reserved like the $200 version of this game with
Okay.
$5.
I'm shocked they let him do
Uh,
it with $5, but okay.
yeah. He's got a job,
Yeah.
and he's like, Dad, I'm literally gonna be playing that all in December. But here's the thing: when you are a younger person with no, you have a job, you're in school still, you have no major priorities, he will finish this game in no time at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, the watching the gameplay though, it totally is creepy.
Yeah.
Dark spaces, um, you know, they had a sneaking mechanic which was really cool. You know, this is definitely I will tell you, like, this is going to be the one game of the year that sells really well. It's
I think so.
but every year.
And it's for every console.
Yeah, every console. Is it on Switch?
No, not Switch. But everything except Switch, I guess. So PC, PlayStation 5. It might be even on PS4, maybe. Um but yeah, it's been teased for quite a while.
Yeah, they did a trailer late in the summer, but it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
We knew it's coming out in December.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I think this is the one that's going to do very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely going to be M rated. It's very graphic.
Yeah.
Uh, Speaking of another M rated game, Lords of the Fallen gets a new title and trailer. So here's what cracks me up is so it seems very Dark Soulish in this trailer,
Yeah.
and then they're starting to play metal in it.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, all right, cool.
I mean, this game's not for me. And we're still looking at a 2023 release date on this one.
Yeah, Lords of the Fallen came out like on what PS4 and stuff way back when, and I remember people enjoying it enough. It's very much a Souls-like game. Um, so seeing Lords of the Fallen 2, or they just called it The Lords of the Fallen. Like even Jeff Keighley was like, "Yep, it's not. There's no more 2. It's a the now," or something like that. Um, yeah, so I'm curious to see how people like this one because the previous one people liked enough, it seemed.
Yeah, and that came out like early PS4, so there really wasn't
Yeah.
a lot. I remember we got it for PlayStation Plus, and I played it for a little bit. I'm like, man, this game's like really well put together.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you have to wait sometime 2023. Moving Out 2 was announced.
Yep.
Um, Dude, people love this game so much.
I've never played it because it didn't have any online co-op, but now Moving Out 2 has online co-op.
Which a game like that should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It's very much Overcooked hijinks. I love Overcooked and Overcooked 2. So seeing Moving Out 2 come out here pretty soon. There are a few different trailers for it. It says 2023, and then there's some things that say like 2023-ish. So like I don't really know what or when it's going to be out, but they're aiming for 2023, early 2023 at least, it seems. So
But we
I'm
definitely
excited
need.
for it.
Yeah, this was a huge hit before independent, and I love when independent games get a sequel.
Yeah.
Even if I've never played it, just because I love
Yeah.
independent games for that.
Yeah, and
So
Team 17, the people who publish it and stuff, they're the same people who publish Overcooked. So like they know
yeah,
how to market these types of games.
absolutely. Which I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So Hogwarts Legacy received a new story trailer. I did not watch it. I know it's based in Hogwarts lore, but because they've pushed that game back to 2023, um,
Did you see though that there are pre-order bonuses and they're like pre-order tomorrow or something? You can pre-order for a bunch of other stuff, but then also you get like 72 hours early access if you digitally pre-order it or something stupid.
wow.
Yeah. So it seems like a lot of this stuff that they made was already like this trailer, in fact, like it seems like they were already shooting for this holiday, because like why else would they be like pre-order now and do all this? um this trailer did not impress me, even more so than the previous one. Like it did look okay for the most part, but there were certain weird what's that called, uncanny valley moments with the characters, where, do you know like in Arkham, like where they do that weird, like they just like focus on like a character's face and they talk and they just look really robotic, like their mouths kind of move and their eyes like move but their face doesn't really move at all. That's what this did. And it did it for like some characters. Like the characters look really really cool, but then their faces or eyes were doing something really stupid. And it just like took me out of it, cuz games shouldn't look like that anymore. Or if they do, make the game look more cartoony instead of realistic. Um, but I mean, that stuff can hopefully be fixed. I'm nitpicking a little bit with that, but I can still definitely see that this game is not ready for a release just yet.
Yeah, I'm watching this trailer now for the first time, and it, we were talking about this in Discord. I was literally gonna play this on my break. I take
Not
PTO.
anymore.
Yeah, this is gonna be my big game. I was gonna play the crap out of. Not now, but looking at it though, it definitely doesn't have that kid vibe. I will tell you that.
Yeah, it is very dark.
Yeah, well, just the creatures I've seen in there, those are not. It was cool when they were in the forest. It said beware of the spiders, and you could see spiders. That was really cool. Uh, and they've got a date of February 10th. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see if they hit it. I will not reserve this game probably.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want a physical copy of it. Um, but I don't know. Are you gonna reserve this one to get any of that stuff or no?
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
I don't plan on it at all. I don't even know if I'm
yeah.
gonna buy this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll probably wait until like Black Friday or something, because like it seems like one of those games that unless it does really really well, I'm probably not gonna touch it until much later, because it's just burned me too many times.
I was hoping you would get it, and then I could do that whole Voldemort meme in the background while we're playing.
Come to die.
You'd be like, "Oh my god, please stop doing that." Yes. Um. So the next title that they talked about was New Tales from Borderland was officially revealed. Alex and I were talking. There was a leak back in April.
Yep.
Uh, so they finally announced it, and this is coming out October 21st, which is funny because there's another game we'll see later that's coming out the same day.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, but also the weird thing with this, and from what I was watching, and other people complaining potentially, is that Telltale isn't touching this one at all. This is Gearbox or like them doing it themselves. Um, so it might be a little different. It might be, the
Yeah,
humor might not necessarily be there. The gameplay might not necessarily be there for a Telltale type experience. So you'll just have to wait and see.
which I think it's great they're doing all these Borderland games. So are they? Why don't they just do a brand new Borderlands game?
I mean,
Not I mean I know this kind of is. Um,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even touch 3. I've only really played 2. Um,
I played a lot of two, like a lot. I would say like 15 hours into two.
I enjoyed what I played for the most part, but I got tricked into buying that game because people said they'd play it with me and they never did. So that's why I kind of just don't play Borderlands, because it seems like it's very much a multiplayer game, and I don't. I'm not about that life of playing multiplayer experiences like that.
I mean,
Yeah,
there are games that will play multiplayer. Obviously, there's no way of me getting you to play Star Wars Battlefront 2. I've realized that, but yeah, I think it's the older you get, it's harder to find good people to play multiplayer with.
yeah,
To be honest,
mm-hmm.
like my son's like, oh, like this game I played this with them, but he's a high school kid, so it's easy.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so that one comes out October 21st. I just watched the trailer. It's just more Borderlands.
yep,
So this one threw me off. So Dying Light 2 gets an expansion. Um, it's called The Blaze Eyes. It comes out October 13th.
yep,
Um, so I remember when this Dying Light came out because if you remember, they were in the midst of making it. The company got sold,
yep.
and everyone's like, "Where was this at?" My son was a huge fan of Dying Light. He does not like the new one at all. Um, so I wonder if this is going to be free because
I don't know actually.
I don't think very many people are playing it.
I know this is one of the games that I got my dad as a gift. I don't know if he played it or not. Because he liked the first one enough, but he's more of a single player type, just enjoying
Yeah,
games like that. Like he loves Far Cry 6 a ton. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's interesting to see another expansion here this soon because that game came out what last year
yeah.
maybe, yeah, like I forget, maybe around that time last year, I'm not sure. um but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm not interested honestly, because I'm not really that kind of person who likes these types of games regardless of how campy or whatever they are, but yeah, I'm not about that life.
I sent it to my son and I go, "Hey, this looks cool, right?" He's like, "I'm not even 40% into the game," which is bad because he had like a ton of hours in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Another October release, which October is gonna be a busy month.
It
I tell you what.
is.
Um,
It is indeed.
so another one I talked about was Tortuga, a pirate tale revealed. Um,
Yeah, I saw this. So this happened at the same time as we were talking earlier, Destiny. Um, it happened at like the break time.
yeah,
Because there was a certain break time where there was a Red Bull commercial. Um, the did like Red Bull gives you wings, like that kind of stuff. There was this Tortuga. There was Destiny, and then we might see some other stuff here. I think this Marauders thing was also in that little window there,
yeah.
um, where it was just like, here's just ad space. This wasn't necessarily even for Gamescom. It was just ad space for a time.
Well, if you want to clump those two together,
Yeah,
Marauders look to me, it almost looks like a cell phone game.
yeah,
Uh, and
they both do.
yeah, and so both of them, um, well, at least Marauders has they're shooting for an October release date for early access. So yeah, both these games seem very cell phone game-ish.
Yeah,
They're not talking about what systems they were. Definitely not interested in either one of those personally. Uh, it just seemed they did not seem the quality we would be getting nowadays for console games.
yeah,
So,
for sure.
but you know what else was talked about? Sonic Frontiers officially confirmed for
It looks
November.
good. It looks really good.
They yes, I will admit
People
I was like, so I I'm watching the trailer again, but when I first watched it, the first time I'm like, it looks okay. You know, we have an
Mm-hmm.
open world on a game, but then I watched this one, and I was like, wow, like they took the feedback and they fixed it. It looks so much better, uh, quality wise, graphic wise.
We saw more like of the actual like initial cutscenes. We see characters more. We saw Amy in it. Um, I was watching Kind of Funny watch the reactions to this Gamescom thing, and Blessing talked about how, or no, one of them, Barrett on the ones and twos, was talking about how he was like, man, is this gonna be like Donkey Kong 64 where you're grabbing your buddies and then you'll play as your buddies? And then Tim and Blessing were like, that's exactly what this is. So like I'm really excited to where like you're gonna unlock characters potentially and maybe play as those characters or at least get some abilities from those characters. And just looking at it now, like the cinematics are cool. He's talking well enough. Like everything about it um looks very good and not lifeless as what the previous trailer showed.
Yeah, and there's more enemies there. You're seeing a lot more. I think the graphics look amazing. Now, did they say what this trailer was running on?
No, however, I mean, I'm not buying this thing on Switch. I'm buying this on PS5 or Xbox Series X. I'm not sure which yet, to be honest, because honestly, what I've heard from a lot of people is like you buy third party on Series X and you buy exclusives on PlayStation. Like that's just the way that you should if you have both consoles. So I might buy it on Xbox. I'm not sure yet.
Well, November 8th. So we were talking in other podcasts, which we would love for you to go and download if you've not. Um, that there wasn't a lot of games this year being released.
Mm-hmm.
This, in my mind, is a big enough title. That's a big title. It's one that we've been waiting for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They went back and fixed. So I think that's going to be a really big winner this year for the holidays because there really isn't anything out there.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that looks way better. I'm excited to get it. I will probably get it on PS5. Uh,
Yeah. And it is coming for Switch and PS4 as well. Who knows how well it would actually run because like we've seen some previous trailers where like it's chugging a bit. But
yeah,
honestly, like even if it does chug a bit on certain things, as long as the core gameplay mechanics and stuff are there, people who have to use a Switch will probably still enjoy it.
absolutely. I think I think that's the thing there. If that is your only console, yes, and get it. And I think it will run fine on there. But the next gen consoles are where that, like me personally, I want to play it on my PS5.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
there with you. PS5 or Series X, one of the two.
so, which is awesome. And again, this conference was big enough for them to announce all these dates. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I think, yeah, already we're doing more than we've seen in the summer.
Yeah.
More. So, Quantic Dreams revealed their new game called Under the Waves from Parallel Studios. It is a narrative driven game, Quantum Dreams. It looks pretty.
Yeah.
It looks
We'll,
like a Quantum Dreams game.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's funny because like I have a couple of the Quantum Dream games. I've never played them.
Um, I played. Let's see, what have I played? Because Quantic Dream is like Press X like Jason, like Heavy Rain and
Yeah,
okay, so yeah. I played Beyond Two Souls, most of it, and the first time I played it, I really liked it, and then I got glitched out and I couldn't play it. And then it came on PlayStation Plus, and I played most of it at that time because that's the one with Ellen Page, as the main character, or main actor and character, I guess. And then The other one, the more recent one, was Detroit Become Human. And
Yeah,
I loved that game. That game was awesome.
we got it free for PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that's how I played it.
I just couldn't get into it. Like,
It's so good.
I'm not saying it's not. I just couldn't get into it personally. Um, but even on a PS4, it looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say that game did not run that system on the highest level.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And our buddy Spencer, I know that is one of his favorite games. I think he's played it like 4 times.
Yeah, there are a lot of different endings and stuff that you can get because it shows like the timeline of things, and you can go back and choose different paths and things like that. Like it's a good streaming game. Like if you want to have the chat choose what to do. So
yeah, I think that's great. But they followed that up with Goat Simulator 3, and they showed gameplay,
which is actually Goat Simulator 2. They're just calling it 3 because it looks like Half-Life 3 or whatever.
Yeah. Man, I never played these games.
I played the first one, and it was fun for about 10 minutes.
That's what it seems. Well, it's coming out November 17th. If you are excited, if you love that kind of thing, there you go.
It looks like there's multiplayer, so at least like you'll enjoy it probably more if you're playing with stupid people too.
I mean, it literally is a game for stupidness.
Yeah.
They showed another trailer for Return to Monkey Island.
Yep.
Coming out in September 19th.
On International Talk Like a Pirate Day. That's the day that's coming out.
I thought this trailer was fun.
Yeah.
It seemed like the original game.
Yeah.
It looked fun. It did. And I know people were dogging on the art style of the game, but sometimes you gotta change it up. I feel like if they would have kept the art style the same, it would look dated.
Yeah, this art style reminds me of did you ever play I never finished it because it was a weird Kickstarter-ish game. What's that game called? Broken something. Broken.
I own it.
Yeah.
It's like the 2 different stories.
Yeah, it's with like the girl and the boy. And it's a Double Fine game.
Yes.
And so yeah, that's what this kind of reminds me of, like that type of art style. I need to look that up now because now it's gonna annoy me.
Is it?
I'm looking it up. But anyway, like yeah, it looks similar to that, and I like that type of art style. So, Broken Age, that's what it's called, Broken Age. Because I think Jack Black was in that game too, Broken Age.
Maybe I like Double Fine. Number one, their Costume Quest games are fantastic. I almost wish they would have done a physical copy of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to play those every Halloween. They're not easy games either at all. So, yeah. Subnautica has the people that did Subnautica have a new game coming out. It seems, after watching this trailer, it seems very like they said Warhammer here, because it's like you're using figures.
Yeah.
Battle simulation. Yeah, they're already in early access. I guess this fall they're gonna do early access to it. Seems like a fun game. It's gonna be on PC.
Yeah, and it's also written by Brandon Sanderson, who I guess is just a big fantasy and sci-fi writer. So seeing someone who's actually well versed in that write the story and then have the gameplay people focus on gameplay, I think that's going to do really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it looked pretty good. Another one they talked about was Friends versus Friends. It's a card deck based shooter. It's funny watching this right now, like watching the trailer. except for the shooting part, it for some reason gives me that Adventure Time feel.
So I was actually pretty disappointed seeing this trailer here, because like I like the art style they were going for in this stuff right now, like in the beginning trailer stuff. And then when they go to the actual game, I'm like, oh, this isn't what you showed me. This is something completely
Oh,
different.
yeah, that looks awful.
It's very much uh border Borderlands type cell shading and stuff. And so like if it looked like this the whole time, I'd be like, yeah, let's go for it. But because it looks like just people wearing costumes and not actually those characters, um, I don't I don't know. I'm not about it anymore.
The trailer before they went to the actual gameplay looked better.
Yeah.
The what the actual gameplay does, which is too bad. Um, I think that's a cool idea of using cards. So, the Lies of P. This trailer was fantastic, by the way. So basically, it's like Dark Souls, Pinocchio set in a steampunk world.
Yep.
Like basically it, and he's becoming like a real boy. So, um, yeah, it showed him like using his arm for stuff. He gets to meet his dad. The trailer looked great,
Yep.
and this is what we need, more different games like this. Not Assassin's Creed, whatever they're gonna come out with next.
Yeah, because
Uh,
this looked very like it looks very Dark Souls Bloodborne, but it also is doing its own thing, and I think that's the thing that impresses me the most is that you are you can tell you're inspired by that genre, but you're doing things differently enough that I am actually intrigued in it, and I'm not normally the person who plays those types of games. I try them and I end up hating them for the most part. So this game looks different. This game looks like it's going to be very enjoyable, have more of a actual narrative, and that might be my issue with a lot of those games is that there is no narrative. It's whatever you make it to be, for the most part, besides cutscenes here or there. But yeah,
I think that
I think
it
it's gonna
looked.
be cool.
I had no idea it was Pinocchio until I read some of the things about it. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
the guy at the end is Geppetto. It looks.
yeah. So that's really cool. Um, they showed a cinematic trailer for Stranded Alien Dawn. Um, looks like it's a survival game.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically like Ark. So they showed another trailer for Atlas Fallen. Now, I remember seeing something about this before, maybe, but you make weapons out of sand. Like, so sand is
Mm-hmm.
your weapon. I thought that trailer looked really cool.
Yeah.
It seemed very, very Final Fantasy a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but um, and this is just a reveal trailer, so they didn't really show much of anything except for this. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, no date, no idea when it's coming out, no really knowing if it's coming out on any systems. I would imagine it would,
Yeah.
but yeah, still look really cool. Um, there's a couple of these we'll probably run through just because.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at the time and I'm looking at we're only halfway there. I'm like, oh, this is a lot.
Well, why don't we skip a couple of the ones on the list here because there's a couple.
Or at least just read like
Yeah, we could read those.
just like read the thing. So like Homeworld 3, new gameplay. Look at it. Genshin Impact has a new region that you can look at, the Sumeru region for 3.0. Look at it, I guess, if you really care. Job Simulator VR, developer is like, hey, we're making a game. It has to do something about eating, but we can't tell you what it is. Um, Let's see. That game that we saw earlier during E3 time, Honkai Star Rail, which
Yes.
was like Genshin Impact, Hokkaido Impact's developer. Um, it looks like there's a story trailer for that. And that was a game that actually looked interesting to me. I think it's really cool. It's like Galactic Railways or whatever, like the old anime stuff.
Yes, I remember that. That one actually looked pretty good. Um, yeah, they showed a High on Life trailer.
Yeah, another one.
That is the creators of Rick and Morty. They're doing like a first person shooter. That actually looks pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think that one. I mean, it's not the best looking game.
Yeah, but you're not there for that. You're there for the witty banter with your guns.
Yeah. So that they showed another trailer showing like a little bit more of that. The game expansion gets a new trailer and a release window. And they are saying in the summer of 2023. Um, yeah, is that based off the show from Sci-Fi?
Yeah, The Expanse. Yeah, it's based off of that. It's just Telltale got the license because they talked about that I think around E3 time as well.
Gotcha. Okay, so this one here, I want to spend just a couple seconds on. So I saw the trailer, and I'm like, oh my gosh! So this is based on a classic cult B movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Um, if you have a clown phobia, this is not for you. It's made, I think it's directed by the guy that directed Friday the 13th, which is super scary because that game was not well done. But it looks like you're gonna have two sets of teams. One people are playing as clowns. One is people trying to survive.
Yep.
In the movie, they would shoot you with a ray and turn you into cotton candy, and then drink your blood.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a couple different clowns. I know you've probably never seen this movie before, Alex.
I have not. I associate this even though I haven't seen either of them, but I remember seeing these on like the old rental store shelves. Like the VHS tapes, like the display cases. So I remember seeing this. I remember seeing Mars Attacks, and I always just like put them in the same vein in my mind. Even though I know Mars Attacks is actually more of a comedy, they're still like in the same place in my mind. I've never seen either of them. But I mean, it looks cool. I'm probably not gonna play it. You can't make me. So
the movie is such a awful cult classic B movie.
Yeah.
I watch it a couple times a year. It's just dumb. It's dumb, horrible acting. The the dean of students from what was it? Animal House is in it.
All right.
I'm not even, he gets killed pretty quick. It's just a ridiculous movie, and the fact that they're doing a game where you're like trying to survive, that I don't know. I think that just sounds fun. Looks like they are doing right now. They're signing up for beta, which they're going to do sometime this year, early 2023.
Yep.
Scars Above gets a brand new cinematic trailer. It is an action sci-fi game. They showed it. This like, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, so this one we've seen before, but they actually had like a cinematic trailer, no gameplay, just a trailer, and no date. So they were like, "Hey, here it is." Fallout and Skyrim veteran Jeff Gardinen is making a new RPG. So he worked for Bethesda and now opened a new studio called Something Wicked Games. They're working on an open world RPG. Brief teaser was given. It's going to be a dark fictional version of a historical Portuguese full of conspiracy and supernatural goings. The stuff they showed was pretty good, but there's no date. My guess is 2024, maybe.
Probably at the earliest.
Yep. They showed more of Age of Empires 4, which, hey, if you love that game, that's great.
Yep.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. So Gotham Knights, they showed, and here's my thing. I told this to Alex. This trailer looked good. The trailer looked good. They introduced Harley Quinn. They showed Jim Gordon's replacement. Looks like they showed Alfred. So Alfred's still alive. But here's what's crazy. It's not coming. It's coming out October 21st, which is sooner than what it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple games already coming out that day.
Yeah, one of them was the Tales of the Borderlands or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Here's my problem. This is to me not a $70 game.
No.
On PS5 and Xbox Series X will be $59.99.
Probably.
I can't pay it. I just can't because it looks fun, but I feel like by Black Friday this is gonna go to $50
or less. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that one game that came out where the PS5 version was 60 and then the
Horizon.
Yes, it's already down to $49.99.
Yep.
So, it looks fun, but if this was a Batman game, I would pay the $70 all day
long. Even if this wasn't a Batman game, and even if it was what it promised originally, or I don't know, just looked a little better, maybe I'd be more into it. And like, it's cool to see the Bat family do stuff and have all these characters together, because just seeing everyone, whether it is I don't know, whether it is Batgirl, Dick, or Jason Todd, or Tim Drake, all of them just like working together and doing things. I think that's a really cool and interesting thing to do. But you have to follow that up with gameplay, and if you can't make an interesting game, why not just make a movie instead?
I think what's really cool about it is today we saw Harley Quinn, we saw Clayface, but I guess my biggest struggle with it is they have all these great heroes, you know, trying to help Gotham when Batman is now dead.
Mm-hmm.
But they've already said, look, there's no Joker, and
yeah.
the combat's a little weird. It feels almost arcadish in looking.
Yeah.
But they did change it. Remember before when you would have
numbers and all that? Yeah.
They got rid of that.
Good.
And some of it looks really cool, but let's wait and see. I will buy it when it's on sale because I'll play it, but you know the what is it? The top tier in this game is like $250. Yeah, no thanks.
No
thanks. Where the Wind Meets is an open world medieval China game. That looked pretty cool. Again, I know he uses a lot, but it seemed very like Dark Souls-ish almost. You know, you do a couple hits, you move out of the way. I feel like this game's gonna be very arty, like Tiger. It's very art like. It seems like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The game promises a ton of player choice with the ability to join and influence different kingdoms, or literally go in the direction of becoming a wanderer, a doctor, a merchant, and more. How cool would that be? Like, I don't want to play this game. I'm just going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It says it feels like, looks like Ghost of Tsushima in medieval China.
I can see that.
No date on this at all. But what they did talk about is Kojima is starting a podcast.
Yep.
Now, we both agree with this, that the reason he's doing this is to talk about whatever it is he's working on.
Either that or it's tied to something that he's working on in general. Like
Yep.
this might just be like a weird pseudo launch of whatever it is. It's called Brain Structure. Already I'm interested.
Yeah, the first episode's going to be September 8th. I think it's a big deal when you're at Gamescom and this is your announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal.
Yeah.
So, Park Beyond is a new, like we needed another one, amusement park simulator.
All right. It's
Yeah.
Thrillville. That's what it says. Akin to Thrillville. So okay, cool.
And this one kind of threw me off. There's now an official Pokemon Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fully electric. I think it'll sell. I think it'll sell more overseas
Yeah.
than it will here. Which, by the way, if anyone buys a Mini Cooper, they are super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
They showed this hack and slash called Phantom Hellcat was revealed today. It is they showed a teaser. Um, it is called Phantom Hellcat. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and this was like just a teaser.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything
No,
to
very
it
short.
at all. It was just like, hey, here's the character. All right, see ya.
Warhammer 40K Dark Tide received a new trailer. We've seen this one before.
Yep.
It's added a new trailer here with no date. Um, is it?
Dorf Romantic.
Yes, Dorfromantic coming to Switch. It is a strategy building game. I think we've seen before. Uh,
Yeah.
it was on Steam and then in April, and now it's going to be coming to Switch. So, sure.
Yeah.
They showed Blacktail, Good and Evil of Witchcraft. I feel like we've seen a lot of this game.
I feel like we have too.
But like here we are, and there's still no game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this trailer creeped me out. Outlast trial gets a creepy new trailer. That trailer creeped me out. Those games.
I hate those games. I've only played the first one. I hate it because you can't do anything. You just
No.
run with a camera. That's all you do is run.
Yeah, and I guess they're gonna do a sample from October 28th to November 1st. Good luck to you.
Yep.
We're not gonna talk about Battlefield because that was actually pretty funny. They came out. They said they showed that if you want to check it out on YouTube, the developers had a video talking about all these new changes. The video is like 15, 20 minutes long. They're fixing a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the highlight of the show was Dead Island 2. They showed a trailer. And they have a release date of February 3rd.
Yep.
So I've never played a Dead Island game. I love the thought of what they are. But this trailer looked really good. It's going to be gross.
Yeah.
What did you think of the trailer?
Dead Island always been that weird thing where I never thought it would happen because it's just Dead Island happened and then it was received fairly well, like enough. Mostly people like the trailer more than anything, that weird backwards trailer.
Yep.
And then Dead Island 2 was announced, and then also Dead Island Riptide came out around the same time, and that was kind of a different art style, more cartoony and still more like co-op and stuff, but it was definitely a different game. So seeing it go back to its roots a little bit is cool to see. As long as it still stays like co-op and stuff, which is what people enjoyed about these games, I think it'll do well. But as far as like what I've seen, it's more Dead Island, but hopefully it runs better.
I think the cool thing was they showed co-op. They showed different characters. They showed a story. Nothing's more satisfying than you drop kicking a zombie or punching him so hard in the face that your hand goes to their face.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we just had the Summer Game Fest, and we thought it was Dead Island 2, and it was
Ghost Simulator 3.
Yeah. So I bet people are super excited about this, and the fact that we're getting it and we've already seen gameplay,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And February 3rd is like right around the corner.
Yeah, and it's just far enough to where I believe it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In the actual in the article, what was that? They talk about the release date of February 3rd. We even have a shot of the game to make sure it was real. So this is Deep Silver in another company. So I'm glad it's coming out. I've never played them, but I've wanted to. I know Greg Miller all the time talks about the other one.
Mm-hmm.
When he was on Beyond, he talked about playing it all the time.
Yeah.
So I think for fans, this is a really big one. That's why I want to say it's like one of the bigger ones besides Sonic so far. And here's what's crazy: this is day one.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see what else happens or what they announce there. But yeah, that is our episode was a little bit longer than normal.
Yep.
But we wanted to kind of get through some of those big stories there. You know, as always, audio version drops on Wednesdays as the video version if you want to see us in person. Well, not in person, but on video.
Yeah.
That drops on Fridays. We are on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We are on like 9 different services for podcasts. 9, including Amazon, iTunes, Google Play,
Spotify.
Spotify, you name it. Also, if you're already going to be on Spotify, you have an account and you can go to Anchor and you can leave us a voicemail. We would love to get a voicemail.
Yes.
So, Alex and I want to talk. We're going to be talking about doing a show where you guys just ask a bunch of questions and we roll with it. So, we would love to have that. Always reach out to us on our social media. We would love to interact with you guys. Help us by hitting that subscribe button on YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
subscribing on your favorite podcast services.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Other than that, do you have anything else, Alex?
Just get at it.
Get at it.